y'all? What's good? What's happening? Welcome to the new gym. We just got it done. Everything is here. All the equipment, all my mats are laid down. Everything works. Everything is in tip-top shape, as it should be. Today, first workout of the new gym's completion. It's got to be legs. It's got to be legs. That's what we hit off with every single time, y'all. My working weeks start off with legs because I love to work them. I love the feeling that comes after when you really just cook the legs. It's one of my favorite feelings, including the next few days afterward. Okay. With that said, though, I'm gonna try to get a few experimental things. I'm really trying to transition into staying on the balls of my feet on certain exercises, including squats, including lunges. I'm going to try to throw in some hex bar deadlifts that I'm going to also attempt to be on the feet, and I might try a few experimental movements that I'm trying out on a few of my machines here. So with that said, let's get right on into it and let's go. Alrighty, y'all. Might look like it's like I'm in a bit of a different place right now. I'm not in my apartment, but anyway. Getting in onto this leg workout, you see me rolling out the back, just kind of getting that psychological release, some few pops, a little internal, external rotation right now, what you're looking at here with the yoga blocks. Getting that right and left side nice and loose, nice and ready to go. Just kind of behind the scenes type of stuff. This was my second leg day of the day, y'all. So I came in earlier in the morning and it didn't feel right. Didn't feel like I was really kind of in it. So came back in the afternoon later on, felt a lot better, felt a lot more mentally with it, and that's what you're seeing here. So first set of Squatmax. As you heard in the beginning of the video, I'm working a little bit more on the toes, a little bit more on the toe position, just to strengthen up the area around my ankle, as well as the soleus, the calves, all of that good stuff. I've been seeing a lot of good content on Ben Patrick's Instagram and YouTube channel, Knees Over Toes Guy, if you don't know who that is. Just really kind of preaching how we've gotten away from staying on the toes. Like, and don't get me wrong, it's not that it's a wrong thing to do. You'll see a lot of other people that are really having a lot of success building stability in the ankles by doing on the toe kinds of work when it comes to squats and things of that nature. Now, obviously, we're not going to set no world records, no squat world records by being on the toes or anything like that. You want the heels down on the ground to be able to really kind of put out as much horsepower as possible when it comes to leg training. But I'm trying to balance a few things. I want to be strong, I want to be powerful, I want to be explosive, but I also want to make sure that my ankles are able to support and transfer all of that power and explosiveness efficiently. So my thought process behind that is get on the toes, do a little bit more on the toe work, and see where that gets us. This didn't feel weird. It didn't feel bad in my knees, didn't feel bad in my hips. So I said, hey, let's keep rolling with it. So you see me right here, y'all. I'm getting about 15 reps on the Squatmax. Belt squat, all vertically driven. Now I've got 35, and a 25 there. So 70, so about a little less than 100 pounds, right? We'll do some math out here. What do you say? About like 95 pounds. So again, nothing crazy, really nothing crazy here. But I'm really working through that full range of motion. I got the whole heel up off the ground, and I'll tell you, by this point in the set, y'all, this is my third set. Man, just the lower part of my ankle was really feeling pretty stimulated off of this. So if you don't have a belt squat, if you don't have this kind of setup, try it on the Smith machine. Try it using a goblet squat, either dumbbell or kettlebell. Get on the toes, experiment. That's kind of the spice of life, y'all. I mean, why not? If you're really not trying to get big power or nothing out of it, give it a shot. See what it feels like. Maybe it kind of helps incorporate calf training along with some of your bigger, more compound movements here. So yeah, that's kind of my mentality there. Now you see me now, fourth set in, I've got another 25-pound plate, heels down on the ground. Now I got my heels on the ground and I'm doing much more of a traditional squat. this kind of what I was doing here on my Squatmax, if you notice, there's a plate that sits right there in the middle there, and that's just to kind of give myself a platform to have a bit of a narrower stance when I squat, so it's a little bit more quad dominant, which was what I was going for here. I was feeling a lot of quads, a lot of glutes, and after all that on the toe work, I could definitely feel my calves pretty lit up here. So now I've got 225s, 235s, so we're looking at a total of about whatever 50 plus 70 is. So we're looking at like 120. I got in total 6 sets of Squatmax, which, since I've gotten this machine, I'm pretty sure this is the most amount of sets that I've ever gotten on this machine here, and I was feeling it. For those who are concerned about this, we're rolling through this footage pretty quickly. I promise you, I was not squatting at this tempo right here. What you're seeing is movie magic, is YouTube magic. I'm cutting and pasting all of the reps together, so what you're not seeing is the 4 to 6 seconds of rest that I was taking in between these reps here. So don't get it twisted. I'm not moving this quickly, okay? There was no way, especially by this point in the workout. Man, my cardiovascular system is never necessarily a limiting factor for me. I have a pretty good gas tank, if I do say so myself, but nonetheless, the load and the amount of sets that I was doing, plus the fact that this was basically my second leg day, man, I was having to take some rest. I was having to take some rest in between some reps here. So don't get it twisted. Just want to be upfront and totally transparent with y'all on that. Last set of Squatmax here. On these last 3 sets, I did more of a pyramid kind of set. So I did 4 sets of 15 to start, and then after that 4th set, I went down to 12, then I went down to 10, and then what you're seeing here is 8 reps. 8 reps at the very heaviest. Now, this one's a little special here, y'all. I wanted to experiment with some unilateral hamstring stimulation, and so what I did was I grabbed one of my monkey feet. If you don't have a monkey feet or monkey foot, whatever you want to call it, I love it. I love this thing. I think it's really, really cool, especially the way that you get to kind of orient some of your tools, some of your dumbbells, kettlebells, things of that nature, to work your hip flexors and, as you're seeing right here, hamstrings. So what I did was working obviously both sides, right side, left side, but I got my bench right up to my stall bar, which kind of created this angle which put my working leg into hip flexion, and then that allowed me to curl the dumbbell all the way up to the glute, as high as I possibly could get it, and man, it felt really nice. If I could equate this to something that is a little bit more relatable, I would kind of compare this to a dumbbell curl that you would do on the bench. So you'd have supported right here, you'd have the bench supporting your tricep here, and then boom, you go ahead and curl the dumbbell up at an angle. It felt the exact same way, just kind of for the hamstring. So I really enjoyed this one. You're seeing me working here now with about 15 pounds. That's a 15-pound dumbbell that I got. Just trying to go through a full range of motion. A limiting factor, I suppose, on this exercise here is you don't necessarily get like the fullest range of motion, so you don't get a big stretch at the bottom. But what I was getting was a really hard contraction at the very, very top of the hamstring, which in my case at this home gym at the ATX, I don't have a dedicated hamstring curl machine. I don't have a lying leg curl. I don't have a seated leg curl. So it's kind of hard for me to get into that kind of range of motion. But with this, man, I felt that I was really able to get that, that knee flexion, that unilateral knee flexion with the dumbbell. Felt really unique. I'm definitely going to keep this in the playbook. I will try my best to go heavier next time. So maybe play around between the 15 and 25 pound mark if I'm able to do so. And on these last sets that you're seeing here, I did my best to go to failure. So I've gotten I got about 8 reps on that left leg, and I'm trying for 8 reps here on this right leg. And as you can see, kind of doing those Sam Sulek, lower ranges of motion. As I'm reaching failure, then the range of motion becomes less and less and less. Followed those unilateral hamstring curls up with some front foot elevated lunges. Not doing a lot of weight here on this first set, but as you can see, I've got a medium medium intensity band hooked up to the Smith machine there. So in my view, in my opinion, there's really no place to hide in the range of motion here. I've got the weight bearing down at me at the very, very bottom, which is activating the glutes, activating the quads, and then at the very top, I'm having to fight against all of that weight plus the continuous tension of the band all the way up to the top. What you're not seeing here, y'all, what I cut out was about 30, 45, even as we get heavier into the sets, which you'll see in a minute, 90 seconds of rest between each leg here. Now at this 25-pound mark, I didn't really have to take too much rest, maybe only about 30 seconds really for each leg. But it's important, I feel it's very, very important to make sure that when you're doing this specific exercise, because the stimulus and the fatigue is so high and you're really putting all of that concentration and horsepower into one leg, take a break between working legs. Take a break. Allow your body to recover, to decompress, and then get back into it, versus, you know, you go hard on the right leg and then boom, immediately hit the left leg. Like, I wouldn't suggest that, just because your body isn't recovered and you might not be able to give as much energy and horsepower into that opposite leg that you were to do in that first leg. So take a break. It's nothing bad. It's all for your benefit. So here you see me with 35 pounds now, same principle. Nowhere to hide in the range of motion. I got weight coming down to me at the very bottom, and I got tension, lots of tension at the very, very top. Just went up in weight about 20 pounds on each side, so that's 10 and a 10 on each side, so 35 pounds in total, 70 pounds in total rather. This one was starting to get challenging. It was starting to get challenging at this point. Especially after 6 sets of Squatmax, this one was like, oh man, we was cooking. We were cooking. So again, active muscles here, glutes, quads, and now here's where it got real. Here's where it's getting real. So 245s, 90 pounds in total. Once again, I'm not the strongest dude in the world, so not setting any world records here, but it just goes to show that if you use good technique, and you're trying your best to slow that eccentric down, and you're using things, complementary tools such as the weight and bands, you don't necessarily have to go as heavy as you think that you do to get a good workout. Saves on your joints, saves on your basically your physical ability to keep going, your endurance factor there in the workout. So just, you know, if you don't have a lot of these things, y'all, I mean you can find sets of bands and you can purchase them for less than $100. I think that they're one of the best fitness investments that I've ever made. I tell all of my clients that is the case. But you know, hey, use what you got, do your best. This is what I got, and this is what I'm showing y'all, okay? So this is what I'm working with here. No hiding in any of the range of motion. Another tip that I'll give right here for the Smith machine, especially for lunges, I've got yoga blocks setting up my elevation here, and they're set right at the oh, we got a call coming in. Oh my. We in the office right now, y'all, so I don't know who that is, but it is whatever the case. We're gonna turn that down. With that said, I've got the yoga block centered there, but I myself am not centered. I'm like a little off to the side. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like, if I'm working the right leg as you're seeing here, then I'm off to the left side of the bar. If I'm working the left leg, then I'm off to the right side of the bar. In my opinion, that just kind of keeps things in line, and just it feels better for me. It's more of like a quality of life kind of thing for me. If you've never tried it like that, or if you have tried it on the Smith machine and felt kind of weird, kind of wonky, give that a try. That might be the adjustment you've been looking for to make things feel the way that you think that they should feel. So now I'm here working. I got 10 pounds, an extra 10 pounds on each side, so 20 pounds in total here, and I'm taking a little break. I was going for 10, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna break this up, 2 sets of 5 continuous on this one. As you can see right there, that's the face of somebody whose soul is currently getting crushed right now, y'all. And that's exactly how this at this point I was like, man, this is it. This is like boom, climax. You know what I'm saying? We built all the way up to this point here, and we're just gonna we're gonna ride this for as long as we can, and then slowly taper off till we're done here. But I really liked and I really wanted to get this exercise in just because I wanted to get that end range power. I feel that when I finally recover from this type of stuff, my kicks are harder, I can run faster, I can jump higher, I'm more confident when I'm throwing tricks or when I'm doing my gymnastics. So I really, although this is a tough exercise, I love incorporating it when I can, and I love getting that stimulus because there's really just nothing like that, especially off of that one leg. I mean, it's primo. Followed all of that front foot elevated squat up, elevated lunges up with some Nordic curls, some self-spotted Nordic curls. At this point, I'm like I said, I'm cooked. I'm pretty fried, but I'm just trying my best to control that eccentric and then kind of softly self-spot with the hands there, but I could feel my hamstrings almost tearing off the bone every single time I was getting these controlled eccentrics here. I've definitely done these at a lower angle, but at this point in the workout, that was not a possibility, at least not with good technique. And for me, technique is above everything else. I don't care about weight. I don't care about none of that. Technique will keep you in this game for a long time to come. Technique will allow you to extract everything that you could possibly, every benefit that you could possibly get out of any of these exercises. Good technique is what's going to get you there, and in the long run, it's what keeps everything in the game. It's what keeps you in the game, and I mean, isn't that what we want? That's at least what I want. So you're seeing the second set of Nordic curls here. I got 3 sets of 10. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. But you see me, I'm out here, y'all, breaking a nasty sweat at this point. I was just like, oh my goodness, feeling every single rep. Here's the last set of 10. Same old thing. Soft self-spot with the hands there. I'm trying my best to make sure that it's my hamstrings that are pulling me back up and not that I'm pushing off of the handles there. I'm still feeling this, y'all. I'm still feeling this. I recorded this on Sunday night or Saturday night. It's now Tuesday afternoon, and I still feel this in my hamstrings and in my quads. I'm already pretty recovered. I'd say I'm about like 85% recovered, but I mean, still, this one was no joke. And something else to keep in mind, y'all, the amount that you can stimulate muscle contractions and muscle growth diminishes through the workout. So it's not necessarily like you can just keep going hard for, from now till kingdom come and you're going to be good. I wish it was like that, but we don't live in a perfect world. And in a perfect world, it works like that. But in our imperfect world, it doesn't work like that. So was lightening up some of the exercises that you're seeing. This is a way experimental move that I was trying to figure out here. So I've got about, I want to say those are like 15 pound kettlebells around my instep there. So I'm constantly having to flex my feet, which is activating the anterior tibialis there at the front part of the shin. And then I've got a pretty light resistance band right there, right above my ankles, so which is providing resistance at the very top of the movement, and then the weight is obviously providing resistance, at the very top of the movement too. I liked this setup. I felt a real good, decent burn. As you can see, I'm contemplating life right there, but I felt a really good burn right there at the very bottom of the quads, that teardrop area. It felt phenomenal. I think next time I try this, I might do this on the cable machine and see if that gives me a bit of a more of a better stimulus, rather. Okay, but just wanted to try that out and see what that felt like. I liked it, but I think we can do some modifications in the future. And then finally, to wrap this entire leg workout out, we gotta do some plyometrics. We gotta do a little plyometrics. So that's what you see me doing here. I've got the lightest resistance band I could find in the gym, which at the very bottom of these is providing somewhat of assistance, not a lot, but just enough, just a little bit. Maybe helps to kind of take the impact, the higher impact, out of the plyometric portion here, but this was really just to burn the legs, just burning them out. So I did about 10 alternating lunges there, and then I did about 10 jump squats there, and now you're seeing me do 10 on each leg pistol squats, alternating pistol squats. As a gymnast, as a tricker, as a martial artist, I would like to have my legs doing the same amount of work on both sides, and I like to know that. I like to know that there's no imbalances from left to right or right to left or anything like that. So I feel like incorporating this exercise is really helping that that imbalance out, balance in general, one-legged strength, and since I've been incorporating them, I can say that at least I feel that whenever I'm squatting, I feel super stable, I feel super strong, yeah, definitely not taking this exercise out of my playbook anytime soon. So that's
and ladies and gentlemen,
thanks for watching.
That's it. That is all I got. Oh my goodness. Oh, this feels fantastic. Oh man. Okay, to recap, 6 sets of Squatmax. Went in, did some little bit of hamstring work with the monkey feet. Follow that up with some Smith machine front foot elevated lunges. Did a little bit of Nordic curls, some experimental movement for the quads, and then finished off with some plyometrics. Oh my God, I'm cooked, y'all. I'm so cooked. If you made it this far into the video, I appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, share, rumble, all that good stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.